Hello guys and dolls, how are you? I hope you are well. So someone asked me to do a video about this topic that I mentioned the other day that nobody wants to talk about. You know me, I'm gonna go there. Talking about why women are mean to each other. And this is on Psychology Today. And so let's dive right in. Oh, by the way, it's 90 degrees today and it's not even June. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not happy. Okay. Psychology Today. Why are some women so nasty to other women, especially at work? This is about work in particular, but it can also pertain to outside of work, obviously, right? Where we're supposedly being paid to achieve the same organizational goals. Yeah, imagine that. Okay. Essentially, there are three main reasons why women are nasty to other women. Because they project their unwanted parts onto the other women. Let me read that again. Because they project their unwanted parts onto the other women, especially their fear, envy, jealousy, suspicion, resentment, rage, anxiety, or lack of self-esteem and confidence. Yeah. And I want to kind of go into a little bit more about that so far as my personal experience with this. I have had women, friends, tell me, oh, you're so strong, you're so strong, you're just so strong. You know, and maybe there was some envy related to that, I don't know. But you don't see that person when they break down. You don't see that person when they are just fed up with the entire world. You don't see that person on their bad days, usually. Although sometimes you might. I had a female friend who had the innate ability to make me laugh when I'm determined to be mad. she had the ability to make me laugh. But there may be a little envy with that too. You know, you're so strong, you're so strong. I'm not. You're so strong. You know, keep telling me I'm so strong. Like I said, you don't see me when I break down. I'm like everybody else. I'm a human being like everyone else. So I've had bad days too. I've had days where I break down. I have had days where I'm like, if one more person says something stupid to me, I'm going to hit somebody and go to jail. Okay? So I have days like that. I have off days. And this is just a little inside thing. Before I eventually cut off ties with the sperm donor / father, he had prostate cancer. And he's a player, okay? He will always be a player. I don't care who he's married to. He will always hump other women. That's just how he operates. He's a narcissist. And they feel entitled. Now, they had told him if the treatment doesn't work, the cancer could go to your bloodstream and there's nothing we could do at that point. He wasn't worried about that. He was more interested in, if they remove my prostate, I'm not going to be able to get erections. Somebody should have tapped him on the shoulder and said, if you're dead, it won't matter if you could get erection or not. Anyway, I thought the world of him, and before I realized who he really is, I thought the world of him. And I collapsed to the floor, basically fell to my knees and cried and cried and cried because I thought, what if he dies? Now, I have graduated to the point where it makes no difference if he dies or not because I've cut him off permanently. So what I'm getting at is no one was there when I fell apart. Nobody saw me fall to my knees and cry so hard that I'm losing the ability to breathe. Okay? Nobody saw that. They just see when I'm over it or when I'm working through it. So they assume you're the toughest person I've ever known. No, I'm not. I'm like everyone else. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there, that the person never breaks. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean they're stronger than you, they're better than you. Come on, let's be realistic here, okay? And plus, I wouldn't want to be so quote unquote strong that I don't feel anything. I'm just the toughest person around. That don't faze me. That's called being a robot. There's enough robots in the world. I don't need to join that crew. All right, so let's move on. Because they can get away with it. Why do women do what they do? Because they can get away with it. It's a sport, fun, panacea to boredom, delight in spite, or because their lack of curiosity / tolerance of difference suggests they probably don't like people anyway. Because they don't have the interpersonal and intrapersonal communication skills to recognize or alter their behavior. Right. With nasty women, it is usually their unconscious fear or need for control being triggered by the new staff member or the different woman at work who threatens them, or friend. Doesn't have to be just at work. If we aren't predisposed or lack the time and inclination in our stressful work lives to be curious about the other, we're far less likely to tolerate difference or to modify our behavior in relation to someone who may irritate, annoy, disgust, or perplex us. We are social creatures, and we live in work villages or team families where women live a tension between their positive and negative selves. The duality that enlivens us when acknowledged, but can damage relationships when it isn't integrated in our personalities. It is easier to suppress introspection about our motives, unlived parts, malevolence, or primitive emotions that can erupt. We have an archetypal, is that how you say that? Archetypal? Dark side. The nicer we purport to be, the darker the shadow we cast. It leaks out in our manipulative quest for power and control or satisfaction in spraying viciousness towards other women. Okay, so that must mean women who do mean things, not nice people. The more powerful we purport or wish to be, the more haunted we are by self-doubt or the potential exposure of our deficits. Myths are metaphorical projections of what is happening in our lives. Our shadows are our hidden or unlived parts that can leak out in vicious power plays or cruelty towards other women. Contemporary myths may include there can be only one. I slayed the dragon and now I'm in the castle. I won't be lowering the drawbridge for newcomers. Our posse likes mediocrity, so scram. To be the in group, we need someone who is out or whatever. Okay, so here's another, and like I said, this isn't just work. This is outside of work and so-called friendships, family dynamics, any type of interpersonal connections with other people. Okay. Where was I going with that? Oh, to be the in group, someone has to be on the out. Okay, so I've always been on the outs. Always. And I'm okay with that because I can entertain myself. I love my own company. I immersed myself in writing stories, writing poetry, singing, dancing, learning new, creating and learning new choreography. Became part of a dance and drama group. I was never on the in crowd. The good thing about that is it gives birth to your creativity. In my case, it gave birth to my creativity. So when people kick me to the curb, and that's happened my entire life, it still happens now. That's why I do not go to certain events with certain people anymore or I haven't in a while, because there has to be a clique. People can't fucking survive without a clique. We have to have a clique. This is the in crowd, you're the out crowd. I mean, To me, that's high school all over again. And it just totally makes no sense. So I will extricate myself. You don't have to extricate me from the situation. I extricate myself from the situation because it's childish and stupid. Anyway, so yeah, it gave birth to my creativity, so they did me a favor. Anyway, move right along. When we are disconnected from ourselves and our emotions and true needs, we can become narcissistic and oblivious to our impact on others. It doesn't enter our consciousness to even consider that we need to be adult, reasonable, inquiring, and celebrating the difference. That doesn't occur to people because they're sucked into their own vortex, in their own world. A lot of people are sucked into their own world. My world is the only world that matters. Until they need other people, then they start singing a different song. Anyway, so back to the workplace. In the office, our village family, most of us mirror each other for comfort and ease. We like things how we like them, and we have ways of heading off potential challenge that we may have perfected in our family of origin or in the schoolyard. Nasty women protect themselves against their own fears, hurt, or scars, and become the aggressor or the two-faced manipulator. Ouch, that's really bad. What? If you're targeted by such a woman, usually for being not the same or not guessing the unspoken protocols of how to blend in, then the rest of the village pecking order are likely to unconsciously mimic the nasty woman's behavior towards you as well. You know what? Let me read that again, because that's deep. If you're targeted by such a woman, usually for not being the same or not guessing the unspoken protocols of how to blend in, then the rest of the village pecking order are likely to unconsciously mimic the nasty woman's behavior towards you as well. Do you know how many times I've seen that? Okay. Off topic for a second. So, you know how easily people are manipulated by other people? Easily. Anybody of authority, anybody in power or perceived power, they can say something and everybody believes it because that's a person of authority that said it. So it can't be untrue. And let a fad start. Somebody's got blue hair. I like different colored hair, so that's probably not a good, I like that, so that's cool. Somebody will start a fad that's doesn't really look that good, but they'll do it because it's a fad. And when people see them doing it, then they copy, and then other people copy, and then other people copy, and then other people copy. And before you know it, everybody is a parrot of each other's behavior. Everyone is parroting each other's behavior. Nobody has their own individuality. Nobody says, I'm using this as a crazy example. Okay, so that mohawk that goes all the way up to the ceiling that's sprayed with glitter, that looks stupid. I'm not doing it. A lot of people can't do that. They have to copy. Even if they don't agree with it or they don't think it looks that great, they want to be part of the in crowd or they want to be accepted, so they do it. So they mirror what everyone else is doing. They mirror what other people are saying. I've told you guys numerous times, maintain your own identity and individuality. Don't copy what everyone else is doing. If it looks dumb and you don't like it, don't do it. Don't do it to fit in. The hell with fitting in. When you are not in the in crowd, it causes you to grow within yourself. It pushes you into a corner and it makes you develop more of who you are, and it makes you get in touch with your soul. If you have a soul. If you're a narcissist, you don't have a soul. So this is for normal people, not narcs. People are copying everything. People are copying words repeatedly. They're just copying woke, 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 woke. Woke only means you're aware of something. But somebody started saying it, now everybody's saying it. And I freaking hate that word now. I hate it. Fleek. This is on fleek. I can't stand that shit. One person started it, everybody followed. Everybody's a parrot. And they're just copying everything they hear. Maintain your own individuality. Don't copy what everybody else is doing. Don't be part of this so-called in crowd. Because if one person has a beef with you, the whole group is going to have a beef with you. That's one good thing about being on the outs. You ain't got to deal with that shit. How about that? So, moving right along. Survival usually means staying safe. And most village members align with, rather than speaking against, the perpetrator of something insidious, complex, and confusing. Cultures can turn against the whistleblowers, the daubers, the rescuers of the targeted. So people would rather keep their mouth shut and stay part of the in crowd because at least everybody likes me and everybody's laughing at me poking fun at that person, or everybody just pats me on the back like, that was cool, yeah, keep it up. They would rather not defend the person or be in their corner because it's more important for their self-esteem or lack of self-esteem. It's more important for them to be a part of a crowd and be accepted. So I have to be ignorant like everybody else. I have to make fun of that person like everybody else. I have to make that person cry like everybody else does because my group pats me on the back and tells me how great I am, and they reward me for bad behavior. So being on the outs, hello, that would be me, and I'm okay with it. I don't have to deal with that pressure. I don't have to, and I'm going to go against the grain anyway. If you're saying something mean and vicious, I'm going to address you. So it's best that I fly on my own because I really don't care if all of y'all are against me. I've had people against me ever since I was born. So what's the difference? Both my parents were against me from the minute I was conceived. So who cares? I've had on-the-job training of being on the outs. I'm good. And I'm strong enough to be on my own. So that's a plus too. I don't have to have people to, hey, quiet. That's my son. Anyway, let me speed this up before he goes nuts. The fear of ostracism or attack if others confront the nasty woman on behalf of her victim may render them oblivious to the situation. If you ask a nasty woman who did it for sport, they usually discount it by saying, oh, it's my sense of humor, why doesn't she lighten up, or it's my sassy nature, she's too sensitive, or blaming the other and insisting other women should be tough enough to cope or piss off. Really? They don't confess to their joy in the cruelty. So, sensitive women, really, the women who are more aware of their self, their feelings, emotions, and their bodies, receive the wound more deeply than less aware women who are more likely to brush aside or shrug off the meaning of the cruel encounter. The critical first step is to speak with someone who can help. There's no shame in seeking support. So if it's crushing or devastating to you, then, reach out to a therapist or a life coach or someone who has the knowledge and the spiritual and emotional growth to help you get past that or get through it. Okay? So that's my video for today. I did it because someone requested me to do it. Here you go. And if you have any questions, let me know. And wherever you are, stay cool because it's not cool here. I got used to cool, rainy weather and I kind of like it. I mean, what can you do? It's get ready to be summer. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a good one. Bye.